Hello, I'm Canon David Primrose, and it's been a great joy for me this year to use the Church Action Poverty Resources, Dreams and Realities as I've preached around the Diocese of Lichfield on the theme of poverty. One of the reasons that I really appreciate the work of Church Action Poverty is it's so much dependent upon people's real experience, the lived experience of people who've been in poverty, who've encountered difficulties, discrimination, and found ways in which they're able to express what they know and help other people understand how best to reorder our society in a way that brings greater justice and equality for all. And of course, in their account of stories, they echo that great, rich treasure trove of stories we find in the Bible. And as I've been able to preach, I've been able to draw on some of the stories of Scripture. We've often begun with the story in Genesis of Jacob as he has to flee home. His father's died, his brother wants to kill him, his mother says go, and so, like many other people, he suddenly moves from home and stability to being alone and fleeing, and late at night, exhausted, he's there asleep with his head resting on a stone as a pillow, and he has a dream. And in his dream, this ladder connects heaven and earth, angels ascending, descending, and Jacob was able to encounter in a place of desolation an experience that heaven and earth connect. And that gives him strength and courage, and as his life story continues, so it is transformed, and he becomes somebody who's able to be that great father of our faith tradition. Church Action Poverty and the Resources, Dreams and Realities have produced a series of paintings which have been done by Steve, who's a member of a choir, St Mary's Choir at Sheffield. And he has painted both himself and 9 other people in ways that capture and convey something of both each person's dreams and each person's realities. And it's been very good that the people in the congregation, as I preach, have been able to have those copy of those cards showing the pictures of these people in their hands, and I've been able to talk to some, if not all, of the people that are mentioned there. Quite often I say to the congregation, who would you like me to tell you something about? And as they come up with the names, so I tell them something about Michelle, who have a life which has had great difficulty in terms of addiction, in terms of homelessness, in terms of prostitution, in terms of being in prison. And she wants, and her dream is, to be able to pass a driving test, to travel around the country in a camper van, talking to people, sharing both her own experience and encouraging others to come through the difficulties that they're experiencing. Somebody has noticed very kindly in the front of that photograph, that painting of Michelle, is some fruit, some strawberries, and she was just able to say, well, I can't afford strawberries, but I really would like them. That's my dream. So a dream both of something to enjoy and something to share out of her own experience. And of each of the other people whose poetry Steve has painted, we've been able to share real life experiences. Wayne with his experience of homelessness and discrimination, his desire to make a difference for those who find that a barrier for them. Susan living with disabilities, Sandra, who's been over from the Democratic Republic of Congo, who by the age of 14 had lived in 4 different countries. Ludmila, who's over from Ukraine and saw her own school where she used to teach being bombed on the news, and wanting now to become a teacher here in the UK with us. Damien, who has been very much wanting to see the church as a place that he's able to minister and help others and support others. Glenn, who's a jazz musician, dreams of going to New York and playing there. And of course, Stephen himself with his own experience of struggling and now being really established to doing something useful. And then quite often I also mention Rebecca, who will be leaving school now, who's a talented musician but has no resources to even get piano lessons. But she's been over in this country, born here, of parents who came over from Myanmar as refugees, and she's looking for a future that she's able to contribute to our society. And all these people have got realities that are full of struggle and dreams that are full of being able to both enjoy life to the full and give something to the society around them. And so, having thought about Rebecca and her just about being of school leaving age, so I've usually drawn our attention to Mary, the mother of Jesus, at the time that she was just the age of a schoolgirl and was able to, when she was just pregnant, 3 months pregnant, go and see her cousin Elizabeth, who at that time was to be giving birth to John the Baptist. And in that encounter with Mary and Elizabeth, so Mary recites those words that we quite often know as the Magnificat, that great hymn of tribute, that one of excitement. And the difference with Mary as she talks is that she talks with confidence, not what God will do, but what God has done. God has lifted up the lowly. God has overthrown the powerful. God has put right the injustices that you and I know are part of this world. Mary's faith is not just a faith in the future, but a faith in that present reality of Jesus Christ with her, Jesus Christ with us. And so whenever it's been an opportunity to preach on the theme of poverty in churches around the diocese this year, it's not ended up with just the accounts of people who have dreams, but the account of Mary and us as Christian followers of Jesus, who know that the change has happened. God has come to be with us. The equality and justice that he seeks is for us to proclaim. And it's with that hope and that encouragement that I've been delighted to use those resources given to us by Church Action on Poverty. And I look forward to hear more of the stories of those people who we've encountered through Steve's paintings, to find out how their dreams have become their realities.